It's like whenever you guys tell me, hey, I had this conversation, or somebody sent me a message and said, I love your content, you're killing it with your content, or your videos look great. Like, I love that. Like, to me, that Hey, how's it going? Thank you for joining me on this week's episode of The Real Deal. This week, I have another special guest for you. I have Kathryn from my team. Kathryn, go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hi guys, I'm Kathryn Palomino, and I'm a real estate agent on the Rio Group, and I'm super excited to be here today.
Yes, thank you for coming. I really appreciate it. I know these are tough. When I had Marissa on here the first time, she was a little bit psyched out. She didn't know what to expect. And I just kind of laid it on you guys, like just out of nowhere. I threw it out there, but we had a very, very powerful meeting 2 weeks ago where we talked about what got us into real estate. When we talked about, what was the main driving, force behind us getting licensed, and then of course your guys' goals. And I just loved what you guys said. So let's go ahead and start off with that, Kathryn. Let's start off first with what was it that got you to be on my team? Why did you join the Rio Group?
So I joined the Rio Group because I had recently become licensed. I was licensed for 3 months at a different brokerage, and I knew that I needed to take it up a notch. I know that real estate, you're owning your own business, so it's all up to you what you make of it. And I just needed more. I needed someone with more experience, more guidance, and really to create that business that I saw for myself. So I reached out to a bunch of different real estate agents in the Valley, and I happened to get connected to someone who mentioned your name.
Yeah.
And how you...
Shout out Maddie. Thank you, Maddie,
Thanks, Maddie,
for referring her.
So you informally mentored Maddie.
Yeah.
And so she really had a lot of great things to say about you, and we were able to meet up. We both had like a little interview process together, because not just anyone can walk onto the Rio Group, you guys.
No. There is, and that's exactly what it was. So Maddie, she used to be my transaction coordinator, and then she was my showing agent. At the time, I didn't have an official team, we kind of worked well together, similar to the same relationship I had with Raquel and Marissa. Is they were my showing agents, and in turn, I helped them and I mentored them with other stuff. So absolutely, and you've seen her, and that's initially what gravitated you toward Maddie, mm-hmm. was her social media presence. She said, hey, you know what? Right now, I don't have a team, but hey, this is the person that helped me, and that's when mm-hmm. she connected us, and we had a great conversation. And you're right. Like there's a certain thing that I'm looking for when I talk to agents, right? I want agents that are driven and agents that are going to be okay doing this. Mm-hmm. And for you, this came very naturally. You mentioned something that you said, you were taking acting classes as a hobby, right? And I was like, perfect, because my entire foundation of my business has been putting myself on camera, putting content out there. And you've shown to be a natural at it. You've done really well. You've never struggled with your videos when we started incorporating that into your marketing. I've noticed that some of you've mentioned that some of your friends and some of your family have already taken notice of your marketing, which is phenomenal. That's amazing, that people are starting to notice you. And then that's something that, honestly, I would say, if anybody, if you're an agent out there, and that's something that you're afraid of going on camera, and this is the world that we live in. Like, there is no way around it. You can't just put pretty pictures of houses anymore. You can't just put some really good, well put together flyers. Like, that was maybe the case 7-8 years ago, even on social media. But now it takes more than just that. It's not just a matter of putting up some nice pictures. You have to put yourself out there. You have to let your personality show through video. You have to let your image show through video, and who you are as a person. And then that's going to gain traction. That's going to have people trust you with the biggest financial decision of their lives. So let's talk about what got you, Kathryn, into getting yourself into that role, to being able to help people with the biggest financial decisions of their lives. Why did you become a real estate agent? What got you to the real estate world?
Yeah, so I had a couple of different influences growing up, real estate was like super big in my family. My mom, my dad, and my sister were always really interested in real estate. My dad actually got his license in 2019. At the time, I was working in HR, and part of that, I worked with people who were onboarding, who were interviewing to come onto the company. So again, I found myself a part of someone's journey, making a huge decision in their lives. So I really enjoyed that, helping other people, making them feel comfortable, welcoming them on the team. So just over time, I finally took my parents' advice. I took a look into real estate, and I thought that had a lot of the qualities that I enjoyed in past jobs. And on top of that, there were goals that I wanted to achieve in life that just being a real estate agent, running my own business, seemed like the way to make those things happen. So
that's so cool. So I like that you took that approach. It's like, hey, I'm already helping people because, yeah, as an HR, you're either in recruiting or whatever that department is, or whatever you specialize in HR, right? But like, yeah, you are helping people with these big decisions. I've helped out some clients that are in charge of the recruiting process for like doctors that are moving in from out of state, and that's a big deal. Sometimes you're set up with, getting them set up in the right area and the moving and then the schools and all that stuff. So I could definitely see where for you that would be kind of like a nice natural progression into becoming, a real estate agent. Obviously, the fact that your dad has a license, that's great. And you've mentioned that he's already kind of complimented you on your marketing, which is awesome. And I mean that I love hearing those stories from you guys. Like whenever you guys tell me, hey, I had this conversation, or somebody sent me a message and said, I love your content. You're killing it with your content, or your videos look great. Like I love that. Like to me, that is a such a testament to what we do. And I know when somebody gets licensed, like when you get licensed, you think, hey, I got my license and I got this paper and or now it's digital. I'm going to go and hang my license with a brokerage. And that's okay. I mean, that's basically what 90% of the people out there do, right? They think like, hey, I'm going to go hang my license, but there's so much more to it. And I think you were a really good example of that because you were licensed as a new agent for like 3 months, and you were, with another brokerage, and you were like, I have my license. What do I do now, right? Like, how do I generate business? And I remember when we had that conversation, about your social media presence. I was like, Kathryn, I mean, look at your social media presence. Like, there's so much more to becoming a real estate agent than just getting licensed. That's almost like your ticket to get in. Like, you're in the real estate, but you're at the party. Like, you still haven't produced anything. Like, you can't just expect leads to land and clients to come to you. And a lot of the methods that you were getting taught, they're kind of outdated, right? Stuff that really doesn't apply in our current day and age. So I really like, I think for you, I really like, and I have those conversations with you. I'm like, so, hey, Kathryn, like, how does this compare to this? How does this compare to what you were doing here? And you've done very well. And, I think that you're going to continue to grow. I see the growth. But I really do think that like having that support structure in place and actually having some, plans, like a plan of attack, like, okay, I'm going to do this, I'm going to work on this. Like that's so crucial as a newer agent. How has your experience been so far in terms of marketing and the doors that it's opened up for you? Give me a little bit of that.
Yeah, no, it's night and day. I mean, it's exactly like what you just said. I feel like now people get to know me. They have the opportunity to see why working with me would be, ideal versus before I didn't exist. And I appreciate that a lot because I do get compliments from people, other agents, events, social, cool. Networking events that I go to. And like my family as well, they knew that I was working in real estate, but until I put it out there, they weren't able to see what I was doing. So I've come a long way with your help.
Yeah, you have, and it's so cool to witness it, and like you have ideas on your own, and that's one thing that we talk about. It's like, hey, if you have some ideas, great, do those things that you want to try, but at the end of the day, having that bare minimum, having the minimum standards that you're gonna do A, B, and C throughout the week, and we just keep adding it. Like last week, we just had a conversation, and we just added more to your repertoire, But I think that in the next coming months, in the next coming years, all this work that you're doing right now will result into, business, and it will get you the results that you're looking for. Now, with those results, right? So we had that conversation. It's, what is your plan 5 years from now? What would be a win for you? 5 years from now, what would you consider would be a good long-term, short-term goal? Because obviously we're talking 5 years. Let's talk about that. From now to 5 years, what would a win look for you, Kathryn?
Yeah. So I see myself with at least one investment property. I think that is exactly what I'm trying to do. Maybe a vacation home in Texas, because I really like Texas. And then I want to be kind of getting ready to make my own team. I want to be have a team like you. So I don't know if in 5 years I would start that up, but it would definitely be in motion. Yeah. So I'm really looking forward to that.
It's possible. I mean, it only took me 6 years, so there's definitely, and some agents do it sooner, right? I mean, at the end of the day, it's whenever you're ready. When you're at the point in your career where you're like, okay, I think I'm ready to start, kind of sharing my knowledge. And it has to come for the right reasons. That's one thing that, when I talk to you guys, I tell you guys, the reason I became an agent, like obviously now I get a small piece of the pie for helping you guys produce, for helping you guys grow your business. But for me, it fulfills me and it challenges me to become a team lead. It makes me want to, grow myself. And for me, a lot of the reason why I decided to join or to create a team was because I wanted to challenge myself. I was at the point in my real estate career where I did have some success, and then I was producing a great lifestyle for myself and my family. I was making the moves that I wanted to make. I had my 5-year plan, but I got to the point where I was like, okay, this is great, but I need a new challenge. Like, what else can I do? And naturally for me, it was becoming a team lead and teaching you guys and helping you guys grow and mentoring you guys and helping you guys take your businesses to the next level. So you're going to find your calling. You're going to find something between now and those 5 years or whenever. It doesn't have to be 5 years. It could be less. It could be more. But you're going to find something. You're like, okay, I'm at that point in my real estate career where I've produced, and now and you're very competitive. I know, you're Kathryn is a collegiate swimmer, right? D1,
Yes.
Division I school. So she's very competitive and very, she has that competitive spirit. And there's going to be, I know you're going to produce, but there's going to be a point where you're like, okay, now I need to give back. And then that's what having a team does. And I know you'll do great when you get to that point. Hopefully you learned a lot on being on my team. Hopefully you pick up on a lot of great stuff, but you can see how there's just so much. It's like never ending. Like it feels like every week we have a conversation. There's something else, something new to it.
You always challenge me. I mean, every week, no joke, every week there's something else, and it's very challenging to push yourself every week like that. But that's why I came here, and that's exactly what I'm getting. So I can't wait to see what's in store for the future.
I know. Kathryn likes to challenge me. We'll go at it, I'll throw something out there, and Kathryn, but what if we, and I like it though, because it's not one size fits all, right? There's certain things that might work for Marissa, Raquel, Wendy, that might not work for you. But that's good. I mean, and it's okay to be challenged. And a lot of times we'll have a conversation, and I'll explain, hey, this is why I think this is the better route. But if you want to do this, so on and so forth.
Yeah.
But at the end of the day, we've had great conversations. You want to continue to learn. You want to continue to grow, and I definitely look forward to seeing that success. And stay tuned, Kathryn. She's going to be a killer in the real estate industry. I mean, you guys are going to see her content. You guys are going to see her videos. And you guys are going to see, what she's about here in the next couple of years. So thank you so much, Kathryn, for coming on this episode of The Real Deal. I appreciate you coming.
Thank you for having me on here on the team and on the podcast. This is pretty cool.
Yes. Stay tuned for next week's episode of The Real Deal. Thank you for joining. Take care.